Alrighty, let's try this video again. Too much cruising around by all the neighborhood. Alright, I'm going to try to record another video of this work that I did. Lighting up my house with some lights. But everybody and their brother has to be driving around all the time. It's May 20th, 2026, and I'm recording. So this here, I've been doing some landscaping in April of 2026 and May of 2026. I haven't really taken the outside, the exterior aesthetics of my house very seriously until this year, since I got some palm trees. So, oh gosh, here comes a convoy. So I call these people just drive around all the time. Oh my gosh. I knew it because I saw the lights on the top of my house. There they go. It's as busy as an interstate highway, it seems like. At least a state road. Alrighty, let's see how this looks. Alrighty. So I got my palm trees, the Chinese windmill palm trees there. They are generally rated for 5 degrees Fahrenheit once they're established, but some articles I read said they've handled maybe -3 because the people that were growing them forgot to winterize them or protect them from the winter. Anyway, well, the tiki torches went out of fuel. But anyway, I put up, so these colorful lights that you can see there, those are the solar powered lights, solar powered string lights there. And then the pink flamingos are plug-in. Now all the other lights are plug-in, that's why they're so bright. That's why there's a brightness difference. But look at how well lit up that is. I mean, gosh, that did what I was hoping for. I mean, I could have a cookout underneath there. But I got retainer wall block. All the lights here are solar powered. I was originally intending to run electricity here, but I don't need to. And so this right there does not affect my electric bill at all. And a few days ago I came through and the storm, thunderstorm had knocked out the electric power in the neighborhood, and this was still glowing, so that's how I could see my house. So that's why I also decided to have the solar powered lights right there, so I can see where my carport is when I'm, anyway. Now let's see if I can get a video of this without tripping that motion sensor, because I'll have to wait for it to shut off. But you can see the lights right there. The lights that are kind of a purple, yellow, and green, those are solar powered. The pink flamingo lights are plug-in for power. Now I do have it plugged into a GFCI outlet, and I put all the connections underneath the roof of the carport. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that electric cable that you can see there. I'm going to hide it along the deck eventually, and I want to build like a bridge between the deck and the carport, because the water accumulates right there whenever it rains, so that way I can have a platform to be on, and I can hide that electric cable underneath it. And you can see underneath the carport, these are the string lights that I got for holidays in like 2022, so I've had these for 3 years before I actually used them. Good, I did it without tripping the sensor. this all lit up nice. This is my palm tree place I'm going to have here. I'm going to have, eventually I'm going to have some 8-inch tall poles that are basically 2x2 wood. And I'm going to have them sticking up there, and I'm going to have more string lights there, but these will be solar powered because I'm not going to run electricity there yet. I do have enough light there to see, so I don't like trip in the dark. There's no electricity out here. This went up nicely. I was afraid I was going to slip as the gravel slipped underneath the ladder. But it worked out well. It's slightly uneven because of where I put the ties. And there's the vehicle. That's just, they got to cruise around all the time. There's just too much traffic, just too much coming and going. But I got a Philips Hue light strip that I've had up in there for several years, since at least 2020, I think it was. Because I got this carport, I think, in 2019. There's more road traffic again. Everybody's just got to be coming and going. But I got this all lit up good. Now, I wish I had solar-powered lights that were this bright. Gosh, there's two more. Gosh, and then there's another one back there. I mean, it's like it's a state highway, even though it's a little road that goes out in the middle of nowhere. Gosh, it just never ends. And there's the ambulance that was through there about 10 or 15 minutes ago. And, yeah, I got this all looking nice so I can grill food even at night in my carport. There's a strip down there that'll brighten it up, but it's a cool white. I can get the color set to something else, but I just like how these look. Now it says it's 210. Okay, if you can, it said on the packaging to these lights up here. Said that if you connect 30 of them together, you can achieve, the wiring will handle 216 watts. So it says you can connect 30 up to 30 of those 57-foot string lights, LED string lights together, and it'll handle 216 watts. So I'm going to do the math. Is that are these really like is that only like 10? No, it's not 10 watts. Is it just 20? I don't know. 20 watts times 10 is 200. So there's the ambulance right there. I want to do the math because I wonder if these are low enough power consumption to be powered off of a solar panel. That'd be good because I can run these lights all night and not affect my electric bill. Now, I don't think the power consumption is very substantial at all, but like, even if it's a very, very small effect on my electric bill, the main thing is having them on when the power goes out in the neighborhood. So I can see to back in my driveway easier, so I can see to get in my house easier. That's the main goal. That's the main goal, to go solar. Now over here, this is the grave of my pink-nosed baby, El Pinko Noso, the sunshine child. He's here with his little grave site. I thought about making a little gazebo out of 2x2s and illuminate it with solar-powered string lights, just because I'm not going to run electricity out here. And but about right where his heart would be, in this, underneath this pile of rocks where he is buried in the dirt, right about where his heart would be is where that light is protruding out of. So his head is right about there with that rock right there. And so these rocks represent where his body is located in this hole. And then, his feet being right there and there. his back curving there, and then there's his tail, and that's where his head would be. And anyway, so basically about where his heart would be is where that solar powered lamp is. So his heart is glowing. He, you know, a cat likes to play at night. Well, he's awake while it's at night, because they're nocturnal, and that's when the solar powered light is powered on. So it's like it symbolically represents him. He's out to play tonight, every night, and he sleeps during the day, and that's when this thing recharges. So it's on his time frame. And then this, that rock right there is about where his tail is. And then this little rose gold colored dragon is a toy that a child left in my driveway one time when they got off the bus, I think it was. And I put it back in at the neighbor's house, and then the kid never came back to pick it up. I guess they don't remember where they lost it. But El Pinko Noso, the sunshine child, my little orange kitten, he was about 6 months old, and he has a pink nose, and he was carrying this thing around in the yard just like a dog carries their chew toy. And so that's why I put it on his grave, so I can decorate his grave, because he was very close with me. He was very special. He loved me. He was extremely loving. And thought about putting some artificial palm trees out here, because I made an artificial palm tree a few years ago in 2022. Made it from PVC pipe and burlap and artificial fern foliage that I got from the store. And he used to play with that thing and use it like a scratching post. So I thought about putting it out here, right there where his head is, like he's kind of reaching for it so he can play with it. But I thought about making one taller than what he played with, and maybe weatherproofing it a little bit more. But anyway, so here, there's more convoy traffic. Yep, just more people cruising around, not doing anything productive, making a bunch of noise. Well, anyway, I got my 4 palm trees here. These are the more of the Chinese windmill palms. And the coldest zone that they'll grow in is zone 7A, and that is where I am at. You can see it there. Yeah, it's all lit up all nicely. I think I might leave this on all night so it can glow. Alright. Motion sensor is gonna come on. There we go. I can adjust this color. I can make it something else. I only bought one of these. I should have bought 3. Maybe put one along there. I can turn these to yellow so the bugs won't come to them. And then this is the area there that actually gets a 1/2 inch puddle of water. Sometimes 1 inch puddle of water accumulating. So that's why I want to build like a bridge, basically like a platform to go there. And then the step would be right in there. Because I hate when I get out of my car, I hate having to step over this frame. And then stepping into this water. It would be nice if I just had a platform. Even if it was just 6 inches taller, it would be useful. Yeah, 8 inches taller. But yeah, even if it was just equal with that step there, I would not have to step in water, and it would be level to that. And then I can hide this electrical cord underneath there. And then I don't have this ugly looking cord hurting the aesthetics of my design. because that's how the carport gets electricity. It's a 16 gauge extension cable, but this is, I'm going to say 10 watts at the most. This, I'm going to say, is no more than 20 watts. And then that is 40 watts. So we're talking about 70 watts. It's less than 100 watt. And I looked on the packaging, and according to the length that I have, I should have the maximum of 13 amps, which is, I think, 1625 watts. Well, even if it's not, even if it's 10, even if it's only 10 amp that I'm getting to it because of electrical resistance, it still means I'm over 1200 watts. So I'm still using this at 1/12 the capacity that it's capable of. But it's plugged in over here, and I want to hide that better. I want to run it maybe straight down or hide it in amongst that, and down there underneath the steps, around underneath here, and then along there, and then come out there. But what I'm going to do is probably get a 4x4 post, get two of them, one there, one on each side, have it go the full height, and attach a gutter to there. And then I'm going to build the platform almost like a bridge going there. But eventually I'm going to do is attach beams to there and have a roof so I can walk to and from my car without getting wet. But I'm going to build it in stages. So I can eventually build that in and then build it out to be more deck. So this here would just be the very first part of it, but it solves that problem. And then I can extend this all to be deck, and then eventually extend the decking out to here. Leave that all open like that. But it means then I can run extension cable there and put more lights. Well, here's this pickup truck that just went through here a few minutes ago. You can hear it. And they just had absolutely nothing productive to do. But I got the portulaca plants there. Yeah, you recognize the sound of the truck. These people just cruise around. They anyway. So, the hosta lilies look good there. And they're growing very nicely. I used to have oregano growing there, but the hosta lilies, they look so good. And then the portulaca flowers are just amazing. These portulaca are getting like a lot of water. And then I got the spearmint. It's been raining so much, the mint has been growing so good. If you can grow mint, like spearmint, right next to a source of water, like right next to one of these here, oh, it will just grow so much. And this is the spearmint that I started in 2014. And it started out, yeah, there's another plant in there. There's a hosta lily in there. You know, the hosta lilies the hostas are getting really big. And the spearmint is growing faster. And I wonder, should I pull this up and plant some over there? Or should I put in, what I'd like to do that tropical design is put in the sable dwarf palms there. They handle one zone colder than what I live in. And they get no taller than 6 feet tall, so they'll never get any taller than that window, which means they'll never touch that electrical wire. And then I might take and buy some more of these Harbor Breeze 1 watt solar landscape lights and put about 4 of them right there. And light up those palm trees. Just like I got these. Now these palm trees can get up to about 30 or 40 feet tall, the ones you see right there. And they grow anywhere from 6 inches a year at the slowest to about 12 inches a year at the fastest. And I've had these in the ground for about a month. No more than, well, yeah, a little bit more than a month. Maybe about, yeah, since mid-April. Yeah, a good solid 1 month. You know what this is right there that my finger's touching? Yeah, it's rigid. It's a spike. That spike is fresh foliage. You might not be able to see the details because of the lighting. That will grow a little bit bigger and taller, and it will just fan out like this right here. It will it starts like a spike, and then they fan out, because that's what my other palm trees did. This one you can see it's starting to come open a bit. There's another spike. Might be 1 or 2 of them, but that's a spike right there. My finger's touching. That's another one. So there's 2 of them. That's fresh growth that was not there when I bought these about a month and a half ago. I don't. Well, no. In the very center of the tip right there, there's a spike. So it's new, fresh growth. And then here is one of those spikes that I was talking about that I'm touching with the tip of my finger. They're very hard. I mean, they're not hard enough to like cut you. But that will be another frond, or what is known as a branch for palm trees. It will be another one of these things right here. So they have not died, and they're actually growing. They've been in this dirt for a month. I used I think it's called evergreen topsoil. It just basically looks like finely shredded mulch. I mean, it's like that finely shredded taco cheese. Imagine, if you will, taking black mulch and then just running it through the shredder a few more times. And then that is what's in the ground there. So I dug a hole about 2 foot wide and about 2 foot deep for each one of these, and then filled it back in with what is supposedly called topsoil. It looks like finely shredded mulch, but it's some commercial brand. And so, and I mixed it in with sand, so it had a noticeable amount of sand, and it lightened it up. That's what I got in there. And they have not yet died. They've been in it for a month. They've not died, and they're growing. Not very much in inches in height, but they have new growth on them. And then ultimately, when the roots get large enough, it will break through that area of that topsoil, and it will reach the red clay down in there. And I used to hate red clay soil, but then I read it's got a lot of nutrients in it. It's very rich in iron. It retains moisture, but this topsoil I filled in will drain very well, so that way I'm not expecting them to get root rot. Plus it'll drain even faster because I mixed it with sand, and sand is known to not be able to hold moisture. So the dirt, the red clay soil that's all underneath there, I have a layer of black mulch on top of it, and then I put on the black weed barrier fabric that kind of looks like black plastic canvas, and then I put on this layer of pea gravel on there, which kind of looks like popcorn from a distance. That's what this is. I have to keep fruit stripe out of it because she tries to dig in it and poop in it, and that's not good. But anyway, this is the retainer wall block. And yeah, these aren't as bright as what they normally are, I don't think. Well, it was a cloudy, rainy day today, so these are not going to run as long. We've been having a lot of rain, here in May of 2026. Yeah, there's a motion sensor. That's the extension cord. It was a neon green. That is not mildew. That is not algae. When I got up there to connect other wires, I found out that is dirt. Just like that accumulates on the blades of a fan and the motor of a fan. And it makes sense. There's electricity going through here. Now, when everything's turned off, there's not very much electricity going through there, but it does power that black box up there. Even if it's just for a half of a watt, it powers it as it listens to commands on the network to turn on these lights. So it's been out there for several years. It's accumulated a lot of dust and dirt. But yeah, this does not get direct sunlight because, well, it doesn't get very much of it because that sheet metal roof is in the way. I got it several inches from the roof, so it's not going to get too hot. Same thing with everything else. But everything is outdoor rated, you see here. This light strip was rated for being in landscape. The manufacturer shows it being used in landscape like this on the ground on the box of the product, but I got it in a scenario where it does not get any water on it, and that's why it's got such a dry layer of dust on it. So I try to take care of my stuff very carefully so I can get the results I want. Now this this smart switch up there is not outdoor rated, but they are dirt cheap. I think it was like 20 bucks for a 3-pack. Maybe they're less than that. I can't remember. It's not outdoor rated, but I got it underneath the roof, and even if it gets damaged, it's fine. I got another one. I am using it out here because I bought one that's manufactured specifically for outdoors. It's got grommets and everything, and I can't find it. Anyway, so that's that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. My name is Christian Naugle, and this is a nice project I've been working on here for 2026.